What is up, everybody? Alright, so remember how I was just talking about how, like, when you play through the story, they needed to give you statues and skill gems and stuff like that? They did that, essentially. They just did an update where... How do I explain this here? So every time you do story nodes, main story nodes, you will get these cubes, little white cubes. And you can turn these cubes in. You can turn these cubes in for whatever you want. They have a whole shop. They got a whole shop for it here. We'll grab these. Matt, we were just talking about this, and they happened to add it, so I'm quite happy here. All right, let's see. These are pure prisms, if they're called, right here. So you get these. You get them retroactively if you already beat the story, you still get them, and you can buy pretty much whatever the hell you want. Now, some of this stuff is a bit pricey, and right now, there's a finite amount of these cubes that you can get, because, you know, there's only so much main story, and you get these from doing main story. Like, see, the skill gems are 3 per, and you need quite a few skill gems per service, 30 to 50 generally, so, and you're capped at 100 as well per thing. So yeah, you know, it's limited, but it's still really helpful, right? This really... Music is a bit loud, I can hold up. Not that bad, but... Anyway, yeah, and also they got these other, like, milestone rewards. As you just do stuff through the game, you're gonna get... actually, we probably already got a few of them. Let me see here. Yeah, here we go. As you do all kinds of things, like just FP summons, beating stages, this, that, and the other, they'll just give you some skill gems, a few statues, and stuff like that. And this is, again, just linked to playing like the game, and you don't have to do farming to do it. So, yeah, great update, honestly. I'm very happy with this. But how many did you get on the main account? I got like 1,000, like 11 or something. You get like about 1,000. Yeah, it does take a long time to accept all this stuff, so it's not ideal. As I'm slowly going through this here. Anyway, yeah, new accounts now. You get a bunch of, you know, fundamental mats to kind of just get you off the ground. It's honestly not enough to like level up 1,000,000 units, but it'll let you level up, you know, 2 or 3 units pretty easily, and that's generally what you're going to need. So. Yeah, we'll actually see how much we'll get in a minute, because once we do Camelot, we'll be able to see how many we're getting per node. But I know when you do the entire main story, you get just over 1,000, so... I don't think you get any from Epic of Remnant. But there's still one more update that they're gonna do. This is like 3 out of 4, so there's still something else to come that will hopefully be useful. I will gladly take full skill gems. Alright, we'll do this. So I don't give a fuck that, like, not even, like 5% of the screen is cut off. I don't give a fuck. Well, for the 30 months. And Shadow, again, thank you also for the gifted sub. I forgot to say something about that. Okay, this account has, like, no FP right now, so we actually can't beat a lot of those. basic missions. But yeah, this is basically exactly what I wanted them to do. I'm glad they did it. It could use some twinks, right? I'd like them to change it a little bit. But it's still like a nice step up. So now if we could get like an account system and story replay, I won't actually have that much to bitch about anymore. Also a UI update, but that one's probably going to take a minute. I mean, there's really no reason to cap it, in my opinion. You should be able to put the points wherever you want them. This is what I would ideally like to see them do with it. There needs to be a way to earn the pure prisms, weekly or something. However, the rate at which you get them, and then you in turn turn them in to get the mats, should never eclipse like an event that's going on, right? But it should be like, for example, let's say it's a dead week or whatever, or like right now we're not allowed to do the event, right? We haven't done Lost Belt 3. So your like weekly or dailies here, maybe the first time you clear it should give you a few pure cubes. Not even that many, like maybe just one, right? So you don't get a lot, it's not efficient, right? But on the side, kind of naturally, you'll just you get some pure prisms here and there. And then you can just turn them in. So yeah, that's the one thing I don't really like about the system is the fact that you can only get 100 of each thing, right? And there's really no reason to do that. So I would like it if they maybe cap it at like, even 50, but then it resets every month or something like that. And then you can get pure prisms on the side. Because if you get 50 like hero proofs a month, if you actually farm it, make sure you get all 50 per month. That's not a big deal. It's not, right? It makes the game smoother and easier and everything else, but it's not like you're gonna never need to farm hero proofs again. I mean, 50 is like half a servant most of the time, so. Alright, so this is the co-op account, thus it is garbage. And it actually really needs this update. However, I'm actually petrified to buy anything because, waste not, and these are limited stuff. So, statues is something we need in the short term, but in the long term, I think statues is one of the worst things you can buy. Because again, you're only gonna have 1,000 of these, so you gotta pick carefully. And I think it makes more sense to get things like the gold skill gems, because those are ultimately the hardest thing to get, and obviously some of these bronze mats. I think that's the sensible stuff to go for. Surprised they actually put the Lost Belt 6 mats in here, but that's nice because if you happen to get Burgist or whoever on a new account and you have no way to farm those, it's nice to be able to just target it that way. Like, really good change. Like, really, this is a really good change. Now, what's not good about it is the UI is crap, as is, all the UI in this game. So I'm hoping they update that at some point. They're looking to hire a new UI lead. What I'd really like to see them do, like with mana prisms, right? Although actually rare prisms is the bigger offender. Let me show this. That is not rare prisms. There we go. So, I mean, look at how much crap you can buy in here, right? It's absurd. So, like, all this dead space, just have tabs. Tab for mystic codes. Tab for like events, tab for command codes, tab for CEs, right? Real simple, nothing hard about that, and you can just get the stuff. So yeah, another change is giving out, you can get the admin thing for free now, and if you had bought it prior, you get the rare prisms back. I think you have to beat London or something to be able to do it. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, you have to get to a certain point in the game. But they've removed the rare prism cost on a few things, and if you had bought it in the past, you get that back. And then if you hadn't bought it, you can just now do the thing for free. So, free mats or, whatever. And that was a good call, too, because they said that the whole reason they did the Edmund thing, it was because the writers specifically said they wanted to do something like that because Edmund was important in the Lost Belts, but to understand Edmund's character, you have to do his event. So there's why lock it behind 5 rare prisms, right? If you want new players to be able to catch up and understand what the hell's going on with Edmund, you don't really want them to have to spend rare prisms, which they might not have yet, to figure that out. So I'm glad they changed that. Again, it's a few new mats and, fun stuff to do. I wish they would let you replay it, you know, be able to replay at least the challenge quests whenever you want. They still haven't done that, but maybe someday. But as of right now, they still haven't done anything like that. Either way, great update. It's definitely moving in the right direction. And it's nice to see because honestly, I felt like for a good 2 years there, FGO was just dead in the water, right? They weren't doing anything smart. They weren't doing any good updates. They kept doing stupid shit like animation updates for the mailbox and crap like that. It was just awful. Like, we've been in such a rut for so long. But, you know, between the safety net and this, I feel like they're actually starting to get their shit together. So, I think it's, you know, I'm not going to get my hopes too high because, you know, the company's transferring hands and the leadership's going to, you know, who dictates from on high will change a bit. And, you know, that could affect firing and hiring and all that. So I'm not expecting them to, you know, roll out the red carpet just yet. But these are still nice practical changes. And if they can keep this kind of, you know, improvement up, you know, FGO might actually feel like a normal video game, and that would be swell. Oh my god, I'm trying to move my chat and keeps resetting. Alright, give me 1 second here, I gotta fix the music. It broke. And we'll fix the screen now. I don't know why everyone has been, like, being super obnoxious about the screen. Like, not even, like, not even a percent of the screen is cut off, right? Like, it's literally nothing, and everyone's freaking the fuck out. Like, oh man, how different is this? Anyway, okay. So that's just a free summon ticket. Even this piece of crap account, I think, can handle this. Right now, I don't think there is any chance that our account could handle the Edmund event. Although we'll actually try it pretty soon for funsies, I figure. We might be able to handle like maybe the first fight and the second fight or something like that, but I think pretty easily we're going to get to the point where that account won't be able to handle it yet. So the more minuscule the issue, the bigger deal we make. That's accurate. Okay, so I can't summon Cairo, but we've literally said, you know, with story supports, if you have to bring them, you have to bring them. That's fine. Alright. Oh my god, the story support Arjuna is probably stronger than... Yeah, definitely stronger than our stuff right now. That is a feeling. Alright, we'll do that. We need Bond on who? I mean, Billy. I guess Salome just for coins. Yeah, Little Gil and Jinkei actually get used occasionally on this account. Well, you know what's sad, though? They're still not our go-to archer or assassin, right? Like, they do get used, unlike before, but they are still not the go-to units. Although I think Jinkei might end up being more useful. Like, early game, Charlotte is definitely better than Jinkei because Charlotte had the, you know, the stat curve where you get all your stats early on and that kind of thing. But because that falls off, then level 60 cap versus level 70 cap, I think Jinkei will probably come out ahead and be used more than Charlotte. The only time that won't be true is if you absolutely have to have survival, because Charlotte's got evade, so. Okay, Bond. Who else is going to be important for Bond? Honestly, I could see a Boudica. We want her second passive, although I don't think we need that much Bond to make that happen, but still. Nothing else seems too important. Oh, I guess Booty Lancer, because she's one of the only golds we can use. And we're not going to get other copies of her easily, so we're not going to get coins on her easily. So actually that makes a lot of sense. Okay, the CEs aren't going to matter. We don't have any we can really bring that do anything. No one should die. This should be an easy stage. So it's kind of interesting. It's going to take a few months for the DW, you know, FGO transfer and all that to Aniplex. But for the Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard, that's going to take like a year. I think it's like a year and a half because it's just so much money and, you know, there's procedures you have to go through and all that. So that one doesn't actually finalize for a long time. But yeah, the DW one will only take, I think it's in like February or whatever. So I think the reason they bought Blizzard, I think they'd probably been thinking about it for a while, I suspect, because Microsoft's been trying to acquire you know, big stuff. I mean, they bought Minecraft for God's sakes. I think what they were wanting to do it anyway, and then because Blizzard just went through the worst PR that has ever happened, you know, people are quitting and getting fired everywhere, and you know, the PR is in the toilet, right? Blizzard was like, we can probably buy them. It's gonna be expensive, but we can buy them for way less than normal. And the board, it was probably hacked. The board was probably, because most of the board members don't understand video games, so they wouldn't know how to fix any of the problems that are facing Activision, right? Really. And the PR is just so bad, they're happy to just take the money. I'm sure the board was so easy to convince to sell the company. Like, they're like, this is, because their stock is just dying, and they're like they're the most hated company ever. So they're just happy to wash their hands of it and get a big paycheck, right? And then Microsoft's like, we can clean this shit up. I honestly, I think this could actually end up being good for Activision slash Blizzard, because like Microsoft or not, they have kind of gotten their shit together in the last 5 years. They really have. And, you know, I could see them being able to clean it up and actually making, you know, a lot of money off of it. So I think it could actually be good. Hard to say, and we won't know for years, because the sale, it doesn't actually go through for quite a while, and there's a big transition period and all that. So it's not, Microsoft's not going to be running the show for like almost 2 years. So, yeah, we're not going to see much from it anytime soon. I mean, I'd say there's pretty good reasons for people to hate Activision Blizzard more than EA these days, because EA is still, you know, money grubby and, you know, microtransaction happy, and you know, they're a typical large company, and you know, they have all the typical flaws of a lot of those large tech companies. But, you know, all the bullshit Blizzard's been in with the lawsuits and the sexual harassment and the firing, like the firing was anyone that was worth a damn, and, you know, it's just, they kind of earned their position. I think they can salvage it now, though, between, you know, like the Bobby Kotick guy is probably going to get the boot eventually, and, whatnot. They can probably salvage the PR eventually. But, yeah, that's a pretty funny thing, though, having, such a huge purchase like that. It's like the biggest purchase in the gaming industry ever, and you know, right as Activision is going through like all these lawsuits and, you know, sexual harassment issues and stuff. But yeah, Microsoft got their work cut out for them, like for sure. Like they literally just bought the most hated company in gaming, so. It's interesting. Like, honestly, it's interesting to me. I'm looking. I hope it turns out good, because I like good video games, and Blizzard hasn't made good video games in a long time. So maybe this turns that around. Who knows? That being said, EA is still crap. I'm not an EA apologist here. EA is still a shitty publisher that is greedy as all hell, and this, that, and the other. Really, what's happened with EA over the years is EA has gotten slightly better. I really emphasis on slightly, right? EA has gotten slightly better, and then everyone else has just gotten so much worse in comparison. You know, it makes them look good, right? They're not actually good, but yeah, they look good. Or better, anyway. It's hard to say if they would actually add WoW to the Game Pass. So I think WoW has been so bad for so long, and I think a lot of the developers are into such a bad space. I don't see WoW getting saved anytime soon. I think if WoW ever got saved, it would take quite a few years, because a lot of staff would need to change out. You know, their whole design philosophy would need to change. I think it'd be like, you know, 4 years at least before WoW actually saved itself. And, you know, they could just make it worse. But I think they have more potential now to turn that game around than they did before. Between this happening and then just like the whole, you know, classic WoW success and stuff, and like the potential with them doing the seasonal stuff, I could see them eventually fixing it, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, Game Pass is pretty good value, I would say. A decent business model, I would say. Yeah, like right now, there's no world, but just because Microsoft's buying, because again, Microsoft doesn't officially own the company for a while, so they're not calling any shots anytime soon, right? They got quite a while. So there's no world where within like a year that, you know, the design philosophy behind WoW is going to change, right? So as for DW though, you know, their transfer happens a lot sooner. So we'll probably see, you know, that'll probably start kicking in like 6 months, I suspect, right? Like the actual transfer happens in February or something like that, either February or right after. But then it still takes a while for, you know, parts to move around and whatnot, so. But hey, FGO's already making good decisions, I would say, like, and there's still some, you know, glaring I'm not gonna, you know, sit here and act like FGO's the best game here because there's still such, you know, glaring problems with the game. It's almost laughable, but at least they're starting to address some of those problems that are, you know, there, you know, one at a time. So if they keep it up, then I will eventually praise them. I'm not gonna, like, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna sing their praises from the rooftops because we still don't have an account system. Their UI is still terrible. We still don't have basic features. We don't have story replay. They've never added a real game mode worth the fuck. You know, there's still lots of problems, but you know, they have added a pity system, and that's great. And this new change here is really nice because it really does help new accounts kind of get into it, not have to start grinding, you know, 5 minutes into the game. They still need to do something about the filler, though. Like, the big thing I was talking about when I talked about this last time, I was like, yes, they need to give out materials and upgrade materials just naturally through the story so people can just kind of have a smooth curve. But the other thing that I said, and I think this is the bigger thing, is they need to remove all of the filler. I mean, there is just so much filler in the first, you know, 6 stories of this game. I mean, honestly, even after that, but like there is just way too much filler. Like, do we really need to fight fucking like 14k wyverns in Orleans like 30 times? Like, do we really need that? Right? And like every story just has so much filler like that. It's a terrible experience for new players, and they still just have a whole balance problem, right? The game, the early stories were designed around when your friend supports were like level 10, and you didn't have dailies, you didn't get XP very quickly, so everyone leveled their units really slowly. But the game's not like that anymore. People level very quickly. All their friend supports are level 100. You get a free ascension, you get a free 5-star, right? So now that the game's difficulty is just so out of whack. I mean, one of the most common complaints I have seen from new players, and it's a very legitimate complaint, is the game's just boring, and most of them quit before they ever make it to Camelot, let alone, you know, Lost Alt 5 or something, right? Like, they quit way before that. That needs to be addressed. That's not good for the game at all. Like, you don't want that kind of crappy experience. And chat, you know what would go along great with putting in all that work to fix up the story and, you know, cut up the filler and, you know, change the difficulty curve. You know what would be a really good way to capitalize on that work and have it not go to waste? Adding story replay. I would combo quite nicely with that. What a coincidence. All right, let's see if we can get Arjuna's MP here. Every stream, by the way. Dark Knights is a pretty small company, ultimately. The devs behind that one. But they definitely do a better job with their updates. But, you know, they're not Fate, so... Also, some people just don't like, they don't like tower defense. Just, straight up. I'll say though, I don't normally like tower defense too much. There are a few games that are tower defense that I do like Orcs Must Die, and there's been a few other ones that I've liked, but I've never really been a big tower defense fan. But Arc Knights really works for me. I really like Arc Knights. I like it a lot more than most tower defense games. I find the boss fights really engaging. The different ways you can approach things because of the mini units and the Gauge Gun stuff is really unique and fun. So I actually really like Arc Knights a lot. And Arc Knights also is kind of just up my alley in terms of like a lot of their design philosophy. Like, they're not really up my alley in terms of like their units, because all they do is add waifus, and then every, you know, 3 years they add one guy. So yeah, that area could be better. But in terms of like, they have a big emphasis on challenging content. Like, they even have challenging content that's just for fun. Right? You, like the challenge nodes you unlock, you don't really need to do, but you can, and they're just for fun, really. You get a little bit of a reward, but it's not a big deal. You know, you get the, they added like those challenge quests to the old main stories that they kind of just slap there just because, you know, they do stuff like that, and I really like that. And obviously we still have the typical stuff. If you don't like those things, you know, you can still just focus on farming and upgrading your units and the story and blah 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 blah. But, you know, they do a lot of like game modes and side stuff and just things. It gives you a lot of ways to just mess around and have fun. So I definitely appreciate it, and I wish FGO would do that. You know, and for crying out loud, they've got like, you know, the trial tickets where you can do a stage and have it not cost anything to do it. And also, if you quit a stage, get your AP back and stuff like that. Or if you're stuck on like a boss fight in the main story, you're not losing AP on it. where FGO, you know, if you're stuck on Fluffy, you have to do the full AP cost every single time. And it's like, why? It's like, why? I actually think they're going to change that eventually, because there's basically no mobile game around anymore that is like that. And at some point, DW's got to be like, oh wow, we're really behind the times here. We really don't benefit a lot from, you know, taking AP from people that fail a stage. We could probably just change that. I just got credit towards 27 missions, and that's because these are these new, like, account progression things that will give you some early unlocks and whatnot. Some of these are actually weeklies too that were mixed in, but yeah, holy crap! Look at that! Look at this! Look at this! There's so many of these, and we got that from just beating a trial quest, like a trial quest of all things. I mean, the company hasn't changed names yet, but soon trademark. Alright, let's see what we get. Yeah, this update is gonna really help the garbage account, and actually it's gonna help the Steno account too, because that account wasn't exactly flushed out, right? So it's really good for it. Honestly, that's gonna allow me to play Lost Belt 5-2 pretty much whenever I feel like, you know, it's a good time for the stream, because it'll let me update like 1 or 2 servants, and that's really all I need. So yeah, that's nice. And I guess the Herc account will probably use this stuff to just upgrade Tristan and Kidu. I'm worried though that they're never going to cut the fat from the story, because it's very rare that games do that, because it is a lot of work, and most devs just don't, because there's no short-term like incentive, you don't make any short-term profit from it. I just don't see it happening. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know, I'm on a little bit of hopium, because they are starting to make some. I mean, like I said, it's been years, man. It's been years where FGO was just doing stupid shit after stupid shit after stupid shit. I mean, I had pretty much lost hope in this game ever making, you know, meaningful progress. But, you know, between the safety net and then just this update, you know, as simple as this update is, I'm like, okay, you know, it's been years, but we actually, you know, it's like they finally looked at the game and were like, oh, hey, we've got some, you know, gaping holes here. We should, like, try to patch that up. So if they saw those holes, maybe they'll see some of the other holes. So yeah, I'm hopeful. And like I said, we got one more big update. And it's just 3 out of 4, so there's one more. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Well, I don't think Lost Belt 7 needs to have the best gameplay in the game's history, because 5-2 is so good. I'll forgive them if they don't top that. But I would like Lost Belt 7 to be better than Lost Belt 6 in terms of gameplay. Obviously, story and all that stuff is pretty subjective, but, you know, it's pretty obvious most people weren't happy with the gameplay side of Lost Belt 6. Most people like the story, though, just fine. But yeah, I want the gameplay to be better than that. I don't mean harder, necessarily. I just mean, you know, where you actually get to use your own fucking units. You know, the draw of the game, you know, that would be great, and not have a quadrillion filler stages for no reason. I'm glad people are enjoying co-op streams. Yeah, it's, that kind of came to me in Cairo out of nowhere, and we were both really motivated to just start doing it. And, yeah, I've been enjoying the shit out of it, and I can't wait to do Camelot. Hell, we might do Camelot really soon. We were actually planning on waiting a little bit to do Camelot, just because, you know, it's hard, and we needed some stuff, but because of this update, we actually probably start pretty soon. I'd like to do the Archer dailies, but I don't think that's for like 5 days. So I might just buy the Archer mats that I need, and then introduce our Camelot here soon. I'm really excited for Camelot though, because I know it's such a difficulty spike, and I've always felt, every account I've ever played, I've always felt that difficulty spike. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Jolter will get an animation update with like just some event at some point. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened, but it could happen at any moment. I think there's just some event that they've got planned where she's going to be a major player in it, and she'll get an animation update, and she'll get rated up. And because they know people are going to want Jolter coins, right, and things like that, and the newer players that didn't have her from back in the day. So they want to make that money, and they're going to want that animation update to kind of build up the hype. I have Jolter on every account. Oh look, a spam bot. Every stream now, man. Isn't it going to be weird if Fate is still around in 2030, which it probably will be, let's be honest. Because yeah, we got the CE 2030. I don't know if FGO will be around in 2030. We shall see. Alright, unleash the booty. Let's see if she can do 60k. Dude, it's not even a meme though. It really is going to take a long time for Fate Strange Fate to get an anime. Because it's going to take a while for the books to finish. And an anime takes, I mean, it's going to take a while. I'm just scared that they're going to get like, they're going to get all, we got to strike on the iron pot, and they're going to like, you know, start putting the anime out and rush it so it won't have like the production quality that it needs. And then if the books aren't finished yet and they do a filler ending and that, I don't, oh my god, if it had that Fate, dude, I would suck. It's out of all the Fate stories, it's the one I want a good adaptation for the most. Because Fate Strange Fate and Fate Zero are my two favorites out of all the Fate stuff, all of it. So I do not want that sucking. Alright, give me the Archer ones game, that's what we need. Okay, we got one Archer statue, that's not quite enough. That'll probably give us what we need though to unlock more. Okay, good, there's more right there. I guess that's 3. That's still probably not enough, I think we needed like 8. I've enjoyed Strange Fate quite a bit. You know, it's not a perfect story, nothing is, but I do enjoy it. Okay, let's take a peek here. We need 1, and then we need horseshoes. We could buy the horseshoes. I'm not sure if we want to use our mats like that way or not. Billy is a really important level up, though. He's one of the most important level ups on this account. And yeah, there's a new Strange Fate volume quite soon. Like maybe in a month and a half or something like that. Alright, we don't... Let's see, what would we need writers for? There's the Demon Pillar in Camelot, obviously. And then I guess just Nido Chris. So writers are decent, so we'll do some of these writer dailies here. Also, we'll probably get credit for some of these missions that we need to do. But today's stream is obviously going to be shorter than normal because I started really late. And I'm also tired as all hell. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about the update. And I'm really just glad. Like, I'm really glad we got a nice, solid update addressing some of the core problems with the game. So if they keep it up, I'm gonna be so happy. Like, as long as they don't just like call it wraps here, like, oh, okay, we fixed the game, everything's good, right? Then I'll be pissed. But if they keep this attitude up and they actually are, you know, trying to fix up some of the core issues, man, I'll be thrilled. I'll be interested to see what this final update is. Did they say when the final update is, or is it just like sometime this month? Because it wouldn't shock me if it's not until like the end of case files. Actually, let's switch these around. She has 2 art cards. Something this month, I think? Okay, I suspect it'll be at about the end of case files, or maybe even at the end of case files, or the day after, or something like that. I like Bakuno more than Durarara, but I like Durarara just fine. The only thing I don't like about Durarara is like the very beginning is a little eh. But for the most part, I really like it. Yeah, I like them both. I like that writer stuff in general. Yeah, I haven't read all of the APOC manga, but I've read a good bit of it. I'll probably read the rest of it later, but yeah, it's much better than the anime in my opinion. Like on every front, it's just better. Like the anime is shit. Like The only good thing about the anime is the voice acting. All the voice actors do a good job. The casting was good. The music's pretty good, although the soundtrack's a little small, but the music is good. Right, those aspects of the anime are great, but the adaptation overall is garbage. They did a terrible job, in my opinion, and the manga is so much better. It's not entirely, though, the staff's fault. It's mostly the higher-ups. I mean, I knew that anime was going to be bad before it aired, because they released the episode count. I'm like, there's just no way you're doing APOC in that amount of episodes. It's just ridiculous. And then also their schedule, right? Their schedule that they released it on, because they didn't have like a break or didn't separate into 2 seasons or anything like that. There's just, there's no way you're gonna put out quality like that, and they didn't. It was rushed crap. Which I think Fate deserves better than that because it's such a big IP. People would have waited, right? Like the Fate IP is strong enough that if they had put out like 12 episodes, waited a bit, and put out 12 episodes, and then waited a bit and put out 12 episodes, right? That would have been fine, right? That would have been totally fine, and then it'll stand the test of time a hell of a lot better. They were just trying to make a quick buck, which I'm sure they did, but I think overall they would have made more money if they put more effort into it. Yeah, they did have quite a bit of more base equal more power. That was definitely a thing. They did that in Babylonia too, for some fucking reason. I mean, I don't even. Some people like absolutely hate the sound effects in APOC. I don't hate them. Like bass can be fine. Using bass like that can work. I think they went a little too far with it though, right? I do think they could have had a bit better sound design, but it didn't bother me. I didn't. A lot of people just like go instantly memeing on it, but okay, I don't know how we're killing her because we're not even touching her, but anyway, it's fine. It doesn't bother me. It wasn't that obnoxious or out of place in my opinion. Now, it was pretty bad in Babylonia though. Like they were trying really hard to have Aya have a lot of oomph, and that's on paper a good idea, but yeah, they took that a little far. Yeah, the Aya was that annoyed me. That was worse than anything in APOC in my opinion. Aya was just, what are we doing? Like that's the definition of violating your ears. Put it that way. Look how many of these missions we're getting done though, by just doing the most generic content. Aya didn't even look that good in Babylonia either. It was okay, but that was one of I'd say out of all the Ayas that have been animated, that was probably the worst one, I would say. Like even when he's holding back in Fate Stay Night against like Saber, even that was done better in Dean Stay Night, like for sure. When I think now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think Babylonia's adaptation of Aya's is the worst. The only other one that's worse maybe is Battle Moon Wars, but that's not an official game anyway. That's a fan thing. So yeah, Zero did pretty good. In their favor though, Aya is being used there in a more interesting way than it normally is, because like Dean Stay Night really couldn't do anything that crazy with it because Gil uses it in a pretty generic way in Fate Stay Night, where he doesn't in Fate Zero, but still the animation quality and everything, and just the way they did the sound, like the sound design for Aya and Fate Zero is great. They did a great job with that, but yeah, not so much in Babylonia. Yeah, if I'd rate them, I guess probably Fate Zero #1, and for doing the games, and honestly maybe CCC, they didn't do too bad. And honestly Dean Stay Night, Dean Stay Night was pretty good. But yeah, Babylonia is definitely that. I'll be interested to see how Fate Strange Fake does it, because obviously, as far as I'm aware, it's hard to say because they don't always put it on paper in a clear way, but Gil is using Aya in the most extreme and serious way he ever has in Fate Strange Fake. So I hope they do a good job, right? Like Babylonia really feels like an OVA to me in terms of how they do stuff, like a Gundam OVA. Now this is hard to explain if you don't watch Gundam, but has anyone like seen like the OVAs that they did a long time ago, where they did like what kind of started their whole like model kits fighting each other anime? They did like some OVAs of that back in the day. Shit like very shallow is what I'm getting at, right? It's like very shallow in like how they would adapt the different mechs abilities, right? And it was all very generic and whatnot. And that's really how Babylonia feels, and as does that Lost Spell OVA they made with Galahad, right? Like that same shtick, right? That's really how Babylonia felt. And yeah, so Aya did kind of felt in that whole category, fell in that category. So yeah, it could have been better. But anyways, for those that missed it, FGO, big update, added pure prisms you get for doing the main story. You can turn them in for literally any mat you want in the game. Skill gem statues, so you can kind of naturally play through the game now and get a bunch of materials. And you get the cubes to purchase that stuff retroactively, so nice, big, juicy update. Now if they could just make the main story better for like the first, 6 chapters, that would be great. I mean, Galahad should be very powerful, right? But the thing is, like, just never mind who beat what. That's not even the thing. Just look at that scene, right? With like Gilgamesh and Ishtar, right? They're not really respecting their abilities. It's like the other way around. They're using their abilities to as like a window dressing for just generic anime attacks, right? They're all the same, right? Their actual abilities and their actual stuff is just fluff. Right? They're just interchangeable, right? At no point did I say I don't like Babylonia, and even if I don't like Babylonia, any issues that, I just described reasons I don't like it, right? I literally just, or things I don't like about it, not that I don't like the whole thing, but I literally just described that. This happens every time I stream, by the way. Like, I'll be talking about, like, why I don't like the boss design of, like, of a new challenge quest, and then someone's like, well, why don't you like this challenge quest? I'm like, I just explained that, thank you. Like, if I say, Ushi's art design isn't very good because her clothing looks like it went through a blender, and it's all mismatched and overly fan-servicey, and the colors don't work together, then someone's just gonna be all like, why don't you like Ushi's clothes though? I'm like, I just explained that. I actually don't even remember the name of the OVA. It was like Lost Spell Prologue or so, I don't know. Literally no one wanted to watch it again. Like, who the fuck watched that OVA and was like, yeah, let's watch that again. I mean, I've seen worse, but I've definitely seen better. Brain hates Ushi confirmed. I hate her fashion sense. She's quite bad at that. Because even her costume, it's like she took 3 dresses and just sewed them together at complete random and then dyed them random colors because she felt like it. What would be better is that craft essence that we got of her recently. That is basically what she's wearing, but significantly less stupid. Oh my god, that trailer, I remember that. I never even heard of it. That was so bad. Oh my lord. Yeah, things can get worse. Stop stabbing Ushi. Well, I mean, she's dead now, so no need to stab her anymore. So I wonder if you get like 1 cube per arrow stage. I wonder if that's how it works. We'll find out as soon as we do Camelot. We could jump on the Herc account and just do some filler Lost Vault 6 stage and see. Also, I'm kind of curious. You know what, let's jump on the Herc account because I kind of know what I want to buy on that account. I want to get stuff related to Tristan and Enkidu, so... That doesn't make me feel better. Oh, you got an Ushi plushie? That's cool. I've got like a Ku doll that Zin sent me, which I've got on my desk. It's kind of cool. Have that for a while. I'm legitimately going to try to... I'm not much for like merchandise and plushies generally, but I'm going to try to get the fluffy plushie if it's not outrageously expensive. I like how I turned all the missions in, but the game is still showing that I'm completing missions because it just takes that long to cycle through all that stuff. Alright, let's real quick jump on the Herc account and we'll buy some stuff, and we can like show off firsthand how the update works. And then what we might do like a Lost Belt 6 stage just to see how many cubes we get. Okay. Yeah, how you get the rewards from the missions is very tedious, and that kind of just highlights the problem that I was talking about with their UI being really bad in general and it needing to be adjusted. It's just getting so bloated, and it was never good to begin with.
I always wanted to try one on.
Arknights has done some pretty impressive. Oh great, we're in the middle of the stage. But Arknights has done some pretty impressive UI updates, and their UI was better to begin with. Okay, we're oh yeah, I need to check on this account in the case files event anyway. By the way, this is like business failure, right? This is not what you're supposed to do from a business standpoint, but when I started my stream, I just made the challenge quest video go live. But so we're crossing the streams there. But yeah, if you care to see how I did the challenge quest, it's right there. The new challenge quest is honestly easier than the old one, like for sure. No, I don't think it's a pushover, and actually I think it was kind of fun. So I don't mind it or anything, but I do think the original challenge quest was harder. But that's fine. I don't think the second challenge quest really needs to be harder. It's more like it needs to be different, which it is. So no problem. Although they're still kind of similar because it's like a duo fighting two people and whatnot. I think they wanted it to be that way though, because like Waver is supporting Alexander, now Reigns is supporting Gray, right? It's like a thing. I think Arknight's menus were pretty clearly better than FGO's anyway, but they've, yeah, revamped them. I've actually got a YouTube video about directly comparing Arknight's UI to FGO's, and I think that pretty clearly and objectively shows that Arknight's menu is better, and by quite a lot. You know, obviously there's some subjective things with like coloring and that kind of stuff. But in terms of like, you know, how many clicks it takes to get around, and the use of space, and like what you can actually do from the team screen and everything, Arknights is just so much better. And then you got Epic 7, which honestly, they've got a good UI, but I don't think it's as good as Arknights now. I don't. Like, their team screen's not as good. Their main saving grace is just how smooth the game runs. It is so easy to switch between menus, and there's like no loading for anything. And their UI is okay, it's not bad, but it's not like the best I've seen. Certainly better than FGO's though. And I played a little bit of Grand Blue Fantasy, not a lot, and their UI is kind of a mess. It's probably better than FGO's, but their UI could definitely use some help. I've heard they have updated it here and there, and I haven't looked at it in a while, but their UI was definitely a bit clunky and not the most intuitive, and just kind of, it was like spammy, right? There's just so much crap to click on the screen. Right now, off of what I've seen, I would say the gold standard is Arknights, especially with the updates they've done recently. I would say Arknights is the gold standard. Alright, let's grab our loot, which is going to take a minute, and we'll see what missions we've done, although actually I can't see the missions until I beat the main story over here, which I should probably do later, because it's going to take a second. By the way, I'm pretty sure Hercules can wreck the new challenge quest. Basically, just have your whole team murder Reigns, and then have Herc solo Gray, like no problem. Wouldn't shock me if you could solo the whole thing, but you can definitely solo either one of the bosses. Just kill the other one. Yeah, I don't think Grand Blue's UI is that great. It's got a few things that aren't too bad, but Okay, but we haven't even done all the turn-ins. We have 7 more, but I'll just do that in a second here. Alright, let's see what we get. So we get 935. So that means from, like, I don't know, we've done like a third of Lost Belt 6. So the rest of Lost Belt 6, 5.5, you get just like 70 of these. So you don't get that, or maybe 80, you get like maybe 80 or 90. But yeah, you don't get that many per then. Let's go do a Lost Belt 6 stage and see how it goes. I'm expecting to get 1 cube per arrow. Okay, I'm grabbing these because I do need them for Tristan and Kido. Most mats only cost 1 cube. Everything costs between 1 and 3 cubes. But you need more than 1 of each mat, that's the thing. So it's not, like I said, as good as it could be, right? I think they could make some adjustments, give you a few extra ways to get the cubes. But it's a great start. It is absolutely a great start. It's at least a little push in the right direction. And these missions are nice because you do get these on top of the cubes. So it's a nice little extra amount of upgrade material for your first couple of servants to make it a bit easier. Okay. Let's go do 1 Lost Belt 6 stage and see what happens. Yeah, I love this for new accounts too. It's gonna make my ult account life just so much easier. Please don't be an actual boss fight. I normally like actual boss fights, but we want to just test this real quick. But every time they throw a question mark at you, you have no idea what units to bring. I should probably have watched the story because it probably would have told me what units I might have needed to bring. Well, if you have to bring one of these, Castoria is obviously the best one. Do that. I still need to do Tristan's upgrade quest. We got the bond for it now. Herc is totally an art unit, guys. That is absolutely how this works. We'll do the bond CE when in doubt. Oh, team cost. Alright, hopefully this isn't anything too complicated. Because we're just here for the science. Makes art out of the mangled corpses of his enemies. A little morbid. Oh, this is actually a boss fight off memory. I think it might be King Potato Chips next. How do we want to do this? You know what? We're gonna give her art up because he got his art card, so... There you go. We'll do charisma. We gotta beat her to death the old-fashioned way. This could be a problem. We did not bring a good team for this, but Herc is strong. Imagine if this account could get NP to her, how good that would be. She does not like Castro or Toria at all there. Fucking bodied. I could have done art first and maybe gotten 200% overcharge, but whatever. I'm sure if you did like the Switch Mystic code and all that nonsense, you could make Herc's art card go from, and the game crashed. I've noticed my Herc account crashes the most. Might be something to do with how I have the emulator set up. I probably have the wrong engine selected. That's probably why. Because none of the other accounts really crash. This one crashes pretty regularly, I've noticed. I'll have to look into that. Herc too strong, broke game. Yeah, you could definitely take Herc from 0% to 100% in one art card if you tried. We might actually fail this stage. We really do not have a team designed for two awkward extra classes like this. We'll see. Also, the story support Castor Tori is kind of garbage because she has no craft essence with stats. Like 0-0. She doesn't have full items, her skills aren't maxed. Like so many, like she's still Castor Tori, it's just she's really useful, but she's not that good. Sadly, Herc's damage here is going to be pretty fail. It's going to be like 120k maybe. You mostly need Lancer Artillery for the next fight. I don't even know what that is. I think it's King Potato Chips, but we'll see. I was almost dead on with the damage. Oh, I see. It's she switches now. What the hell? Okay, there's something else in the second wave then. Maybe the next wave will be simpler. Hey, free Buster up, I'll take it. And I'll use Guts on the next wave, or Evade on the next wave. Trying to get Lancer Artoria's MP without using her battery. Worked out. Alright, what is it? Now watch a million HP Hydra. It's the APOC Grail. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, game. Sure, why not? Also, it just drained my fucking NP. Astoria can live one turn, she can get her skills back. We'll give her the invulnerability. Oh, how about that, chat? It's a saber. It's a saber. Really getting some value out of Lancer Artoria here. Being AoE against a saber, you know. Big 22k damage. Excellent. Yeah, I barely saw the boss's health move. Like just little black mark on that red there. Well, Tristan can definitely take care of this, even though he doesn't have his MP upgrade. In the meantime, Hercules things. I was going to give that battery to Artoria, but then I realized it was a saber, so never mind. Herc's Buster card just did more than Lancer Artoria's MP, by the way, and she's MP 5. Please kill Lancer Artoria. Yeah, we kind of need her out of here. Herc's doing good. He, not exactly in a setup where he can shine, but he's still doing the most work by far. I mean, to be fair to Lancer Artoria, it wouldn't really fit her character for her to yell like Gray. Wouldn't quite be right. Hey, Buster up. Hopefully the deck shuffles in a favorable way here. Now, we are gonna balance all over with this Tristan. We are gonna upgrade this Tristan with the update that we just got, so. Not much love for, Herc here. Now, if Tristan had his bloody NP upgrade, This should get pretty close to killing, I think, but we're still gonna have a ways to go, unfortunately. Honestly, if they had a dinky upgrade and then we used Martha's defense down, we probably would have killed right there. Okay. Sadly, Herc didn't have his third skill up. I should have already cast this. Debuffs just aren't a big deal here. Or his buffs, excuse me. So because Herc didn't have his third skill up, we might lose here. Oh, we might lose Herc here, which we could have prevented that. One, if I didn't give Artoria or Caster Artoria the invulnerability. And certainly if we had just gotten Tristan's NP upgrade or cast the defense down sooner. Okay, that ought to do it. That was pretty painful, honestly, with such a bad setup for that stage. Alright, what do we get? We got credit towards 20 missions there. That is absurd. It's fine, Herc just gotta go back and have Asclepius slap a band-aid on him, you know? Alright, do they mail them to you? No. I wonder if... Oh, I see. Their chapter reward... You have to do the whole chapter. So it looks like it's 5 per chapter. Interesting. So, in that sense, more chapters the better. So if they ever did do cutting out filler, what they would need to do is just compensate by giving more for the chapters that, you know, are left. Because of this, though, that means there's no way they have any plans of cutting out filler anytime soon. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, so we don't need to do this to know. We know you get, it looks like 5 per chapter. Like, that's right there, so. That's the info I wanted. Oh, so it's based on how many arrows there are? Interesting. Maybe we do need to do it then to check, if it is based on that. Interesting. Alright, well, let's check this out here. Oh wait, hold up. I need to look at what mats we actually need. Because we want to focus on Tristan and Enkidu. Okay, so mostly we just need like Lancer gems. That's the main thing. Let's see. And Tristan might actually be just good to go. You might need a few Camelot medals. Oh my god, Tristan. Why though? Why? Dear Lord. That is such a brick. That is just... That's most of our cubes right there, I have a feeling. Alright, so we need 10 Camelot medals. We're gonna need like 50 chains. And we're gonna need like 50 Lancer skill gems. Gold Lancer skill gems. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's definitely what this account needs, and they're both really good for Fluffy, and that's gonna be the big kick. Okay. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I think that's okay. That's a lot of our cubes, but that's what they're there for. Okay, we don't need too many of these. We need a lot of these. Get 50. Okay. Now, I still got a good chunk of cubes, but I'll wait to spend them until I can confirm that, like, I really need to get this or that. I don't want to rush. Maybe a couple of these, though, because I know we're about to use them. Alright. I guess they're just automatically added to your inventory. Oh, you know, I really should. While she's getting double XP. Yeah, you can buy up to 100 of each thing. However, there's not enough cubes in the game right now to actually buy everything. Now, they'll add more main story later, then you'll get more cubes, but I'm hoping they add a little way to get cubes on the side from like dailies or something. And then maybe you could restock the goods like every year or every month, whatever they want to do it. As of right now though, they don't restock, which I wish they would. I don't see the point in limiting it. I think it's good to have a universal currency that people can just make sure they can get the thing that they need. But as of right now, the UI doesn't show that they restock. This is pretty cool though, being able to just grab what I need for these key servants that I know I'm wanting to work on. Okay, this is going to like murder all of our lures, but this account's about to finish case files, and we can get a bunch of lures from case files. Like 6 or something, so that'll be alright. Alright, we just need to do Tristan's upgrade quest, and then he's, I mean, 10, 10, 10, level 90, like hell yeah. Alright, here's the real hero though. This is the fluffy killer right here. Okay, we're gonna need more chain. Oh wait, didn't I already buy literally every chain I could buy, so we're not gonna be able to 10, 10, 10 and Kidu. He doesn't really need it though, for the way the Fluffy fight works. Like, it's good. I'll try to get him to 10, 10, 10 before I fight Fluffy, but he mainly just needs that second skill up. Okay, yep, we're out of chains. There you go. All right. Awesome though. That really is nice. I'm very happy with this change. Like I really am. Like between this and the pity system, I'm like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. So it's nice to have something to be positive about. Because it, like I said, it'd been like 2 years of just dog shit. So I'm quite glad. Alright, what can you see? You can get these lures. What's in this shop? I don't think chains, unfortunately. Okay, we need horseshoes though. Hero, everyone needs hero proofs all of the time. Alright, but I'll deal with that off stream. No rush. Alright, we'll do another stage or 2 on the garbage account like we're actually supposed to be playing. But then I'll probably wrap up because it's late. And I just wanted to talk about the update a bit, show it off there. And yeah, we're ready for Lost Belt 6 now though. The Herc account is like, it's good to go. I am scared though. I am so scared to make any purchases on this account because this account is so weak. We have less cubes, and so yeah, I'm scared. But I just got here. Well, you know, can't always be a winning stream. Yeah, I started so late today. I didn't sleep good. I was just so behind in doing some real life stuff, and then I didn't even realize there was a new challenge quest. I like forgot, and then I realized there was a new challenge quest and I had to do that. Then I couldn't pick the music to save my life, and I'm not even super happy with the music as is, but you know, whatever. I'm happy with the song near the end for Gray. I thought that worked great, but other than that, it was kind of phoned in. Even though I spent like hours trying to do it, I couldn't find stuff that fit. Great Centaur Massacre over here. This account needs horseshoes though, so if they could drop those, I'll take them. So chat, for those of you who are playing JP, how many of you have already spent all of your cubes? I hope not, but I have a feeling there's a few of you out there that have just like bought all the gold gems or whatever. I have 200 left. I'm gonna be really careful with them, dude. Because they're finite right now, I'm like petrified. That's why I hope they add a way to at least, you know, get a few cubes here and there from time to time. I bought all the proofs. Yeah, I'll probably end up buying all the proofs too on my main account. We'll see. I've got a decent amount of proofs on me right now. I don't plan on buying anything until I actually need to use it, and then I'll make a judgment call and like, do I really want to upgrade this thing right now or can I wait? So I'm gonna try to be careful like that. We will get more cubes though when Lost Belt 7 is added. Like that'll give us some. I say blue cubes, white cubes, ice cubes, pure prisms as they call them. I have 700. Only spent some for the new Veach. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense though. If you're a newer account, and you get one of the newer servants, you just don't have a way to get their mats. And so that's really nice actually. I bet you they're going to get a lot of positive feedback from this, so that's good. However, I really think they need to combo it with making the new player experience better, right? Like, that's not going to get people that are bored to not be bored, right? Like, a lot of people are going to get into the game. They're not going to care if they ascend their servants or not, because they're fighting fucking, you know, pirates with 7k health and dragons with 14k health, right? They don't care, right? So they really need to... It's a good start. It's a fucking phenomenal start, but I really think it needs to be comboed with them, like, giving a nice facelift to the main story, making it, you know, harder. You know, it doesn't need to be rock hard, of course not, but it needs to be at least somewhat engaging, where right now it's just a complete cakewalk. So it's like, what the hell is the point? The number one complaint that I see from new players is it is boring. So if they could sort that out and then, you know, have that smoother curve now with their ascension mats, I think they could really have, you know, a much better game for new players. How many are... Oh, okay, we got the poll for the... None. I figured most people are going to say none because, they're on NA. I think that's, hardly anyone's voting, actually, so I think that goes with what I'm thinking, is most people are on NA. But hey, NA players, are you looking forward to it, though, right? It's a nice shot in the arm for your match, so you have to wait 2 years. Maybe they'll give it to you early, I don't know. It's easy to implement early compared to some of the other stuff. Also, if they had implemented that when Burgess was added, people could have actually gotten somewhere with Burgess. Remember how long that took? He added Burgess, and it was like 2.5 months before you could actually get her maxed out. That was so messed up. And same for like some of the other servants too. I think the one you could upgrade to the max first was Sith, but it was fucked up if you had Sith and Morgan because they shared some mats. Yeah, I hope the give you that stuff early. Yeah, I think Percival used all old mats, so Percival could get maxed out immediately. So I'm pretty sure I got mine to 10, 10, 10 really quick. Oh shit, I can buy the Lancer gems on my main account and actually get my Vertra up. I've been not doing that, so I wanted to make sure I had enough Lancer gems if I ever got 2-second passive, but that'll probably be a while anyway. Oh good, I need those. Gimme. Yeah, so far this I think has been a universally well-received update. I've seen some people say that, you know, maybe it's not good enough or that it's kind of annoying that it's, you know, finite. Which I agree with to an extent, although you don't want to make it too good. You still want to give people an incentive to play events and, you know, be happy to have lotteries and that kind of stuff. But having slowly, I think there should be a way to be able to get the cubes outside of the story. So it's just like a thing you can, if you don't know what to farm the cubes. You know, because I think a lot of people have this happen. They're in a dead week and they're like, wait, should I farm stakes? Should I farm proofs? Should I farm void dust? I don't know, and they just don't farm anything. Right? Where if you can just be like, okay, I don't know what I need, so I'm just gonna get the pure cubes, and then, you know, when it comes up, I'll just buy what I need, right? Like that would be nice. Even if it's a little inefficient, I think giving people that option is a really good idea. My JP account is newer, so I only have 300. 300 can still give you, though, a few key mats for like that 1 or 2 servants that you're really trying to, you know, get up and use and stuff. So I think it's still helpful. All right, we'll do a story summon as we generally do on this account. Edmund is obviously banned on the garbage account, so there is no point in summoning there. All right, we want craft essences. We want either that or Booty Lancer. If we're ever gonna get a 5-star, we want Booty Lancer because we'll get her to NP2. Oh my god. There we go. And then we got a way worse one right after it that's also star related. But oh my god, she is banned as hell. But that's rare prisms, and we need rare prisms, so I guess it's still really good. This account gets so much shit, dude. It's ridiculous. Yep, there we go. I'm pretty sure that's banned. Especially it's too good of a support. She removes debuffs, gives you attack up, heals you, gives you crit buff. Because they buffed Antoinette quite a bit, so she is actually kind of a pseudo support. Alright, well we got a lot of rare prisms, that'll still be helpful. Look at this summon though! Look at this shit! 2030 And then honestly, this is good too, because once you limit break it, it's a really nice budget CE. I think we need 2 more copies of it to limit break it though, so that could take a while. It's pretty random. But that's a hell of a summon right there. Romulus is not banned, so that's actually coins that we can use. That's good. So second 2030. There's our crits, boys. Because Hans is banned, so we need a way to get stars. Like 2030 and Kid Gil with his buff. We Chat, I'm scared for my life. I feel chat's anger behind me. I feel threatened right now. But yeah, we thought about making Vlad you know, chat. Put it down. I would just like to remind everyone that although this seems like really good luck, you know, there's always the streaks of bad luck, right? That, you know, I've had those too, right? It's not always 5 stars, right? It's pre-recorded. Yeah, it's all rigged. Well, that's a lot of rare prisms for this account, by the way. He's lying. Yeah, I don't think I can get out of this one. I don't think between that and when I got like Achilles and Iskandar, and also the MP5 Lancer. What was that? Like MP5 Lancer Artoria and 300 SQ, right? Packer Green. Yeah. Not sponsored, by the way. I swear, this channel is not subsidized by Aniplex. Anyway, we just casually, you know, pull a bunch of 5 stars that unfortunately we can't use on this account because the rules. But hey, it's still good. I think we just broke the Arjuna CE. Pretty sure that's ready to go, so that'll help us with Fluffy. Anyways, boys, I think I'm gonna duck now before chat kills me. Yeah, it's late, so short stream, but I just wanted to talk a bit. But in summary, good updates. We'll be going to Camelot quite soon, way sooner than I thought because of these updates. Like hell, maybe we start Camelot tomorrow. I'll probably talk to Cairo and see what he thinks. I wouldn't mind waiting a little bit, you know, maybe grabbing a few things here and there. You know, farming just a little bit more for another day or two, right? But yeah, we'll see it. Camelot is soon. Camelot is very soon. But thank you all for hanging out. And yeah, looking forward to this update on NA because it's good. Let us raid someone. Got that dramatic music. We got Kadroth. Oh, Phantom guy. Gotta hit the Phantom guy. There we go. All right, boys. Go show some love, and I will see you all tomorrow. And take care.